It was a cry for mercy. Today, besieged former Labor MP Craig Thomson lashed out at the unrelenting focus on his alleged past misdeeds. By his count, there are now 9 investigations into his time as national head of the Health Services Union, each one picking over claims he misappropriated union money. And in what he described as a new media low, he attacked one program for paying a former prostitute to tell all. It's all part of the brutal politics in this most ferocious of parliaments, and shortly I'll discuss that with the Chief Government Whip, Joel Fitzgibbon. But first, this report from political editor Heather Hewitt.
This isn't a game. This is not a joke.
This is journalism at its worst. Let's not descend even further into the gutter. Is this about trying to push someone to the brink?
You're a popular man anyway.
Craig Thomson had had enough, and late this morning he decided he was going to tell the media so, without tipping off any of his former Labor colleagues in advance. They were gobsmacked as he kept a very troublesome story in the headlines for yet another day.
At the moment I'm subject to, we've had fair trading in New South Wales look at the issues of the HSU. We've had the New South Wales Police on 2 occasions. We've had the AEC on 2 occasions. Now they've all finished their investigations. There's an ongoing investigation by the Victorian Police. We also have it now being referred to privileges and a couple of other committees. What I'm here to say is, guys, enough is enough, really. I mean, how many inquiries do we actually need to be looking at this?
As the Parliamentary Privileges Committee was the latest to start deliberations last night, Craig Thomson today upped the ante, still blaming the opposition, but also alluding to the personal ramifications.
What do people actually want? Are they looking to try and continue to incite the sort of hate mail that we're getting, that I'm getting, that the staff are getting? Is this about trying to push someone to the brink? That's all I'm saying today. Thank you for that.
Craig Thomson would not go beyond his statement to answer questions, but having raised the line, are they trying to push someone to the brink, he reinforced the concerns of many in the Parliament that he's close to breaking point, as first raised on this program a few days ago, when Liberal MP and doctor Mal Washer spoke of his worry that Craig Thomson was under so much pressure he might self-harm.
I worry about him, I worry about Peter Slipper. In the 15 years that I've been here, I've seen 1 suicide and 1 attempted suicide. It's a very harsh environment in some ways, and that's not to say that we don't deserve scrutiny. We do. We need to stand up and meet the highest standards of public accountability. But any allegations should always be tested in proper, dispassionate circumstances, and we've gone well beyond that now.
We have to be mindful of it. Mind you, the political process has to take place, but we have to be mindful of that. And there's not much backup in Parliament for members who get into trouble.
As the opposition kept up its attack in the Parliament this afternoon, there was a shift in rhetoric, perhaps a reflection of unease in coalition ranks that it may be pushing Craig Thomson too far.
All of us in this chamber, including members on this side of the House, have a great deal of sympathy at a human level for the member for Dobell. We have no sympathy, though, for a government and for a Prime Minister who have put him in this position by insisting that he remain in the Parliament when the honourable course of action for him would be to resign.
This is a leader of the opposition who is into the politics of confrontation. He's into the politics of aggression. He's into the politics of conflict. That is what defines his very being.
This Prime Minister fails to take the censure. She scurries from the chamber. She scurries from the chamber to Coward's Castle and refuses to stand in here and defend her record.
As is par for the course now, the opposition once again moved to suspend standing orders to debate the Craig Thomson HSU scandal. But this time, the Prime Minister was the chief target. It was the same approach in question time as well.
How can the Australian people trust the Prime Minister on anything when she has failed time after time to stand in this House at that dispatch box and respond to the motions moved by the Leader of the Opposition and the Manager of Opposition Business that go directly to her accountability.
Let's just go through some of the facts. The opposition has moved 57 censures or suspensions. That means they have lost the opportunity to ask 359 questions. That means they've lost in total of question time 31 hours and 2 minutes. That means they've lost in total the equivalent of 14 question times.
The government is becoming deeply frustrated with the opposition's tactics and the fact that it can't get clear air. Discussion about its budget just 2 weeks ago, for example, was a one-day wonder, while the Craig Thomson saga drags on. The government knows full well that political climate isn't about to change.
Tony Abbott's wanted a new election. He wants to be Prime Minister, and he knows that if he can knock one or two Labor members out of the Parliament, that'll be reachable. Otherwise, this wouldn't be happening.
Still, the government would have much preferred that Craig Thomson kept his views to himself today, as talk swirled of an interview with a prostitute, supposedly linked to the member for DeBell, to be screened on Channel 9's A Current Affair program.
We now have the completely ridiculous situation that you guys are all collectively responsible for, because it was always going to happen, that we have someone now being paid 10 times as much money as is alleged as to be used by the HSU credit card in terms of prostitutes to give a story. I mean, this defies credibility that you're going to spend $60,000 to buy an interview from a prostitute about a story, and quite frankly, this is journalism at its worst.
Channel 9 has rejected the claims of grubby journalism and denies paying for the interview, but doesn't rule this out in the future.
Well, I don't think she'd do it for a cappuccino, Ray. And,
well, there's no upside. I mean, what's in it for?
Why would she? Why would she? Why would she want to expose herself? Exactly right.
So,
but look, let me just confirm one thing.
Yeah.
At this stage of the game, I can categorically state we haven't paid anyone.
Right.
And we haven't broadcast anything.
Right.
But we have recorded an interview, and we have taken a stat deck, and we do have what we say as part of our preliminary investigation is new evidence.
The publicity adds to the scandal, and you can bet there'll be more of the same in Parliament when it resumes next Monday.
Political editor Heather Hewitt.